and welcome back to another crazy episode. My name. Would you know my name if I saw you at a free call? Ashton Kutcher. Would it be the same? Would it be the same if I saw you at a free call? Ashton, I know you must be strong. Salute to Miss Red. Carry on. But I know it won't be long before you in handcuffs. Don't you know his name? Do you know Ashton Kutcher's name? If you saw him at a free golf. Greetings. Shout out to everybody. Would you hold Diddy Glover's hand in the free golf, Ashton? If I saw you at a free golf, oh my God, would it be the same? If it was a minor there, saw you at a free golf. Shout out to everybody in the building. Smash that like button. I'll find my way. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. We are surviving Ashton Kutcher, and we must blow out the freak off candles during survival. Oh my God. Diddy is so desperate. This man is trying anything to get out of jail. And all y'all celebrities that was running and ducking and hiding behind motherfucking trash cans are going to have to come out and play. You know what I mean? Because what they say, the roosters is coming home to cook. The chickens or the roosters coming home to cook. They not lying. Salute to all of you guys. You know what I'm talking about? I appreciate all of y'all. And it's, a lot of y'all in the building right now, but I can see y'all, pure survival. And I read all of y'all comments. I be wishing I could say something to every last one of y'all, pure survival. But I make sure that I heart it. When I heart your comment, pure survival, that means that I read it. But it's so many of y'all, and y'all say so much wonderful things that I wish I could comment to everybody during survival. But Ashton Kutcher, you not being punked, dude. This is the real deal. Now, I'm going to say it. You got to do this. You got to say allegedly. They'll say, Jamil, you got to say allegedly. Well, what the fuck? I don't want to say allegedly, but I'm going to say allegedly that Ashton Kutcher was involved in the freak offs with the minors. It's been going around the internet. So it's not like Ashton. I've been hearing allegedly you was a part of these freak offs with Diddy Glover. Pure survival. You and him started dating once when you punked him. You punked Diddy Glover, and then you two fell in love and started eating freak off chicken wings together. Pure survival. Shout out to the lounge in the building. Oh my God. You know what I'm talking about? My tenderoni, she know when my voice start to, you know what I mean? Pure survival. When she hear my voice, she, oh, my baby live. You know what I'm saying? But Ashton Kutcher, we are surviving this sneaky mustache. This sneaky motherfucking mustache. I don't trust you, Ashton Kutcher, pure survival, and I don't trust that mustache. You and your wife was supposed to been doing stuff for like minors and all this type of shit. And allegedly, Diddy Glover is saying he's implicating you in the affidavit. In Diddy Glover's affidavit, Ashton Kutcher and his mustache is in the goddamn affidavit. So Diddy's definitely telling on you, pure survival. And if that man's willing to tell on his own mom, Ashton, oh, you better run and leave the goddamn country. You should have been spoke up. All of these celebrities that didn't think, I don't know how they didn't think that Diddy Glover was going to tell on them. These motherfuckers just wanted to get quiet, pure survival, and try to act like they didn't know Diddy. Like they wasn't going to these parties and getting buck-ass naked. I don't want to hear you say, Ashton Kutcher, I never seen Diddy Glover's cock. I never seen his wiener. Dude, I don't want to hear it. Because allegedly, he's saying you was on these freak-off tapes with minors. Allegedly, it was males and females. And I don't, I be trying to, you know how sometimes you be like, I can't picture a grown man being attracted to a little boy. Pure survival. You know how you think like that? But in this day and age, you can't trust no fucking body. Pure survival. Anybody who hung around with Diddy Glover, I don't trust none of y'all freak off warriors. You know what I'm saying? I don't put nothing past y'all, but we are surviving Ashton Kutcher. Smash that like button. Diddy is testifying against him and a whole bunch of other people. And the affidavit is out there. And Ashton's name is real big in the goddamn thing. And then mysteriously, there's a woman who mysteriously passed away. I'm not blaming you or your mustache, Ashton. Pure survival. But you found a girl deceased. And that was a mysterious thing that the feds was already watching you. So this is pure survival. Get them lights up, guys.
Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So,
Sean Diddy Combs is facing criminal charges, and the silence is deafening. The rapper has surrounded himself with celebrities, executives, politicians for decades. But now that the Southern District of New York has indicted Sean Combs on sex trafficking and racketeering.
And Ashton Kutcher, if you don't tell me that this is a sign of guilt, why is Diddy Glover clapping just Ashton Kutcher's cheeks live on stage? Look at this. Ashton, the man was clapping your damn cheeks right here. Look how he whispering in his motherfucking ear. Oh, I like that, daddy. Oh, I like that, daddy. Look, he got motherfucking Ashton from the back. This is the same thing that Jaden Smith did to Justin Bieber. When Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber was making out like this in public. What is this, some type of ritual freak-off hug? 50 Cent said it. Remember 50 Cent said, look, I don't go around Diddy parties because they try to hug you from the front and try to hug you from the back. Pure survival. Right here, let me know, Ashton, you and Diddy Glover had to have a secret gay love affair. So if y'all two was sitting there having these freak offs and you supposed to have been on 26 tapes, it says it in the affidavit. Allegedly, Ashton, pure survival. And he got your Ashkins in his hand. Look at Diddy hands right here. He got you like you're a chick in the club. You ever see a chick in the club and you got her backed into the wall? Peels up, oh, come here, baby. God damn, you look good. Look, you got the fucking chick in the club. Look how he got Diddy Glover. I mean, Diddy Glover got that boy up against the wall like a chick in the club. Peels up, oh my God, you can tell Ashton was one of Diddy hoes. Ain't no way you gonna tell me Ashton got that long hair. Look at Diddy Glover. Oh my God, he breathing on his neck. Pure survival. Ashton can feel the fucking stink ass wiener breath in his hair flying. Yo, this is crazy, guys. And look, Ashton got his fucking hands on his drawers. Who sits in public and pulls your drawers out like that while Diddy holding you like that? Ashton, this is a sign of freak-off guilt. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
Sean Diddy Combs.
And you hear Ashton Kutcher said, I got a lot that I can't tell. You should have told it, Ashton, because you said you got a lot that you can't tell. You don't think the fans would have been like, hold on, what the fuck he mean he got a lot that he can't tell? That's our Bible. You should have told Ashton. Look at you motherfuckers look happy as hell together. You look like the white girl that's like, oh my God, he's talking about me. I love Diddy. Oh my God, look at P. Diddy. Oh my God, the way he's hovering over me. Oh, he's breathing his hot breath all over my hat. Pure survival. You look like one of the white girls that's so happy to have him in your life, Ashton. Pure survival.
Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing criminal charges, and the silence is deafening. The rapper has surrounded himself with celebrities, executives, politicians for decades. But now that the Southern District of New York has indicted Sean Combs on sex trafficking and racketeering crimes, those famous friends have been pretty quiet.
Listen, I don't care. I gotta bring this shit back. Pure survival. This is the funniest shit. I've never seen this, Ashton. This is pure survival. How many of y'all think that this is gay right here? Listen, shout out to the LBG community, pure survival. So it's no disrespect to y'all. But how many of y'all think this right here is Diddy pretty much got his wiener on the back of that boy like that? Smash that like button if this don't look like no fruity shit right here. The man is holding his goddamn drawers, pure survival. And Diddy is in the back of him like, ooh, I like that Ashton. Oh, I like that Ashton. Show them goddamn draws, Ashton. Ooh, I like that, daddy. You trying to tell me this shit right here don't look motherfucking guilty? Pure survival? He holding that man motherfucking ass. Like, just get your ass out there. Yo, this is wild, Ashton. This shit look real freaky. I'm sorry, pure survival. Smash that like button.
Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, Can't tell that one either.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing criminal charges, and the silence is deafening. The rapper has surrounded himself with celebrities, executives, politicians for decades. But now that the Southern District of New York has indicted Sean Combs on sex trafficking and racketeering crimes, those famous friends have been pretty quiet. We're going to take a closer look at Combs' relationship with A-list actor Ashton Kutcher, and we bring on a special guest, Law and Crime's legal counsel. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Yeah, we need to examine the relationship between Ashton Kutcher and Diddy Glover. This shit look like you so completely guilty, Ashton. Pure survival. If Diddy was clapping your cheeks, or if you was clapping Diddy cheeks for any celebrity that was smashing Diddy Glover, or Diddy Glover was smashing, y'all are grown. We don't really give a fuck about that part. Pure survival, that's legal. But the fact that these minors was involved, that's the part where we got a problem. And we're coming and we're exposing all this shit. Pure survival.
What a trial could look like, to the most shocking information in the indictment. And today, we are focusing on something else. We are focusing on Sean Combs' fame, his influence. Because Sean Combs, who has gone by a lot of names over the years since getting a start in New York City in the 90s, we're talking P. Diddy, Puffy, even just Love. He founded Bad Boy Records in 1993, which later became Bad Boy Entertainment, a juggernaut in the music industry. He brought Christopher Wallace, better known as Notorious B.I.G., with him to the new label that skyrocketed to fame. At its height, the label was reportedly bringing in $130 million every year.
And that's what he used to do. And Diddy Glover messed that all up, and anybody that was freaking off with him is going down.
Of making the band on MTV. It was a reality competition where groups competed to become the next big music sensation. Combs and Kutcher, they were often photographed together, with Kutcher showing his support for Combs' business ventures, attending Combs' Labor Day white parties. In 2010, by the way, when Time magazine named Ashton Kutcher as one of the 100 most influential people that year, Combs offered the following quote, saying, "Ashton Kutcher is a sounding board for me. Like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we are yin and yang. I am in your face, but he is understated, cool, suave."
And you hear the shit, how Diddy Glover was speaking highly, a freak off highly about you, Ashton. Pure survival. He was saying all this wonderful stuff about you, and you've been neglecting him like the rest of the celebrities, running because y'all was afraid that y'all was going to get exposed. Pure survival. You should have ran with Ellen and Ellen's lesbian woman. Ashton, you should have been left the country. Pure survival. I'm telling you, any of the goddamn celebrities that's still in the United States, you motherfuckers better go to Russia. Because Diddy Glover is telling on everybody. Pure survival. And Ashton, you sound real guilty. They got the proof. You and him was tighter than freak off butt cheeks. Pure survival.
2019, Sean Evans of the channel First We Feast interviewed Kutcher while they ate spicy wings on Hot Ones. And he asked Ashton Kutcher about how he met the rapper and about Combs' infamous parties.
Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. Our relationship was really bizarre. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together. And he came over, and I was like, "I'm going for a run." He's like, "Oh, I'll go for a run with you."
They was hanging out, watching football and eating freak off wings. Pure survival. Diddy Glover and Ashton Kutcher sitting there eating some freak off wings by yourself. You and that motherfucker. We know y'all was buck ass naked. Pure survival. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Ashton, if you and Diddy and your mustache was making out, that's fine. But if you knew that Diddy was messing around with the young people and you was getting on them freak off tapes, pure survival, and you was running around the time he was doing punk and he was doing making of the band, and you didn't know he was recording you, this is your fault, Ashton. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that you and your wife, I think y'all doing some shit to where y'all trying to like look after like minors and all that stuff. And I heard you speaking about minors. If this is true, Ashton, I'm talking about I don't trust nobody in Hollywood no more. Pure survival. And I definitely don't trust that mustache. And the way Diddy was holding you on that stage like that, oh my God. You look like a freak off ballerina. Pure survival. Look, and this is when Ashton Kutcher's mustache is messing with the goddamn cable. Look at this. I told you, When you start to survive, these motherfuckers, they start messing with the goddamn internet. You know what I'm saying? So I apologize. Look, 800 motherfuckers and then the internet acting stupid. Pure survival. But we are surviving Ashton Kutcher. And
Yin and Yang, I am in your face, but he is understated, cool, suave. In 2019, Sean Evans of the channel First We Feast interviewed Kutcher while they ate spicy wings on Hot Ones, and he asked Ashton Kutcher about how he met the rapper and about Combs' infamous parties.
Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, either. I mean, like actually cycling through them. Our relationship was really bizarre. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together. And he came over, and I was like, I'm going for a run. He's like, oh, I'll go for a run with you. And so he comes over to go for a run. About halfway through the run, he's like, yo, I'm running out of gas right now. But we had like paparazzi all around us at the time. He's like, you gotta slow down and but make it look like you're not slowing down. Because he had to. I don't want to look like I'm not gonna be able to finish this thing. And he was losing it. We finished out the run, and then
Why is Ashton Kutcher blushing? You see his face when he's talking about him and Diddy Glover doing a freak-off jog or a freak-off run, pure survival. You can see Ashton Kutcher's freckles, his freak-off freckles. He is so excited to talk about this man. He blushing during survival like he missed clapping Diddy Glover's cheeks, or he missed Diddy Glover clapping his cheeks like a fucking audience. Pure survival.
With you. And so he comes over to go for a run. About halfway through the run, he's like, yo, I'm running out of gas right now. But we had like paparazzi all around us at the time. He's like, you gotta slow down and but make it look like you're not slowing down. Because he had to. I don't want to look like I'm not gonna be able to finish this thing. And he was losing it. We finished out the run, and then he was so upset over the fact that he got skunked on this run. That year, he decided to run the New York Marathon. And so we just started immediately training for the New York Marathon.
I like that.
And you see, it looked like right here that Ashton Kutcher, pure survival, and Diddy Glover was planning the freak off without this girl. I don't know if this girl knew about it, pure survival, but look at Diddy Glover's face and look at Ashton Kutcher's face. Did both of these motherfuckers like, look, we can run a train on a pure survival. So why wouldn't I not believe that you probably on these 26 tapes, allegedly, Ashton Kutcher, pure survival. Now this look like a grown woman, but this is probably how y'all set them freak offs up. You got this woman right here not having no idea, pure survival. His pecker's hard, and they about to give each other freak off high fives. Pure survival, we got her. All we gotta do is give her some of that shit that we be putting in the drinks. Oh my God, Ashton, this shit don't look right. Pure survival.
That year, he decided to run the New York Marathon. And so we just started immediately training for the New York Marathon.
I like that. Bounce back.
Well, he just can't lose. Even when he's that close to humility, that like it becomes a driver. And so then he went out and ran the New York Marathon.
Hey, I know I say this a lot, but really thank you for coming to us for our Sean Combs coverage. It's not something we take lightly. We really, really appreciate your trust in us. And we're going to continue to bring you updates and angles in this story. And one of the reasons we're able to do that is because of the amazing support that we get from our sponsors. And that includes...
And that's how, yes, and I'm one of the damn sponsors, you might as well say, because we going to keep bringing y'all these motherfucking
70s
stories.
show, Danny Masterson. Remember, Masterson was convicted last year for raping 2 women and sentenced to 30 years in prison. Kutcher and Kunis, they released letters of support after his conviction, saying that Masterson had always treated people with decency, equality, generosity. Kutcher talked about him being...
And do y'all remember this dude from that, I think, 70s show or whatever show this was? This man got convicted of some sick P. Diddy type of shit. Even worse, the man got convicted. Ashton Kutcher and his wife was talking about, oh, he's a good person. Oh, he was. Why would you say that this man was a good person, pure survival, when he took advantage? Listen, hold on. What did he do again? And Ashton Kutcher was standing by his side. What a coincidence. You and your wife standing beside a sick person like this. And then now we find out that you allegedly was a part of the freak-offs, 26 freak-off tapes. With freak off baby sperm on the fucking cassette tapes. This is pure survival. VCR tapes.
Or maybe I should say lack thereof, on Hot Ones. Ashton Kutcher and his wife Mila Kunis, they were shunned for the support of longtime friend and their fellow star on that 70s show, Danny Masterson. Remember, Masterson was convicted last year for raping 2 women and sentenced to 30 years in prison. Kutcher and Kunis, they released letters of support after his conviction, saying that Masterson had always treated people with decency, equality, generosity. Kutcher talked about him being a role model. Kutcher also talked about his excellent character. So
now y'all see what I'm saying? He was convicted and got sentenced to 30 years for R-wording a woman or 2. I don't even know how many, pure Bible, but he's about to do. His wife was sitting there talking about, oh, but he a good person, or he this and that. If any of my friends did something sick like that, pierce our Bible, I'm cutting them off. I ain't got nothing good to say about that motherfucker. How you gonna say that he's a good motherfucker and he's got a freak off mask on and he was convicted of 30 years? That's why, Ashton, I'm telling you, it's not looking good. Pierce our Bible. It's not looking good at all. You can support a motherfucker like this. You worse than Oprah.
or maybe I should say lack of, convicted last year for raping 2 women, sentenced to 30 years in prison. Kutcher and Kunis, they released letters of support after his conviction, saying that Masterson had always treated people with decency, equality, generosity. Kutcher talked about him being a role model. Kutcher also talked about his excellent character. So as you might have guessed, that was not a controversial move. And as you might guess, there was serious backlash over those comments. And the couple released an apology video. And now the question becomes, where does Ashton Kutcher fit into this Sean Combs saga as he's facing charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, very serious felonies that could carry up to life in prison. So as we talk about...
You hear that? It can carry up to life in prison, Ashton. So that's why Diddy like, damn that, I'm telling on everybody. These people participated in it with me, pure survival, and then they trying to make themselves the face of abuse, the face of victims, and all of this stuff. And then come to find out, allegedly, they was a part of the same shit. And then you supporting a person that R-worded somebody. It doesn't look good, Ashton. This is pure survival.
Now the question becomes, where does Ashton Kutcher fit into this Sean Combs saga as he's facing charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, very serious felonies that could carry up to life in prison. So as we talk about Kutcher's possible connection to this criminal case, other celebrities' connection to this case, I want to bring on a special guest. I want to bring on somebody who we didn't, search far and wide. We didn't go to the other side of the country. We didn't even go to the other side of the city. We bring on somebody who's down the hall from me, somebody who we trust with this entire show.
That knows all about these freak-offs. This is crazy.
Keeping us all in check and making sure.
This is crazy.
Did you expect to see something else? What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I found the allegations in the indictment, like a lot of people, really disturbing and distressing, just reading about the details, everything from, the alleged assaults he inflicted upon these women to, the allegations of how he apparently coerced certain women into engaging into acts with commercial male sex workers. Everything was really disturbing in that indictment. But also, I think like a lot of other people, I think a lot of us saw this coming, ever since his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed the civil complaint against him in November 2023 of last year. We've just seen a slew of similar lawsuits and actually allegations against him coming. So I think this was a long time coming this year. I think it was more a matter of prosecutors having enough time to gather all the evidence and the facts to really make their case.
Do you get the sense, other than Cassandra Ventura, who... I gotta say, her allegations are lining up so...
And everything lining up with Cassie said. Now they're at the point where they are making a deal with Diddy. I told y'all Diddy wants to sign a plea agreement so he don't have to do life in prison. So he's going to take a deal. All you got to do is tell on the rest of these people. Ashton, all of them.
Consistently with what we saw in this indictment. And in fact, that 2016 video of Combs allegedly beating...
Cassie Ventura alleged sex trafficking.
Was so detailed and thorough. I said, why isn't she on sidebar? So that you can see. One of the things I've been talking about the past week is what's not in the indictment. And there's nothing about minors. There's nothing about underage people, even though there's been allegations against Combs.
Until they just came up. They didn't have the minors in there, but they got them in there now. Oh my
Charge.
God.
And I also wouldn't be surprised if we see prosecutors in the months to come supplementing this indictment, as they continue to gather more evidence and speak to more witnesses to include further charges. But that was a surprise to me as well, because there have been allegations out there reported on about possible activities with minors and narcotics and the like.
Everybody keeps saying to me, they're like, Diddy's going to turn. He's going to give up all the celebrities that were involved in these alleged illegal activity, but he is facing such serious charges. Racketeering's 20 years.
Y'all hear that? Diddy is going to give up all of the other celebrities. Do you hear this? I've been saying it, the sidebar, everybody been saying this shit. I don't know why people be in the dark thinking, oh, Diddy ain't gonna eventually tell. That last bond hearing, like I said, he's supposed to be able to get one more chance to go to bail. Pure survival. Salute to everybody coming in the building. He gets it. Right now, he is desperate. He is telling on all these celebrities get out of this shit.
Everybody keeps saying to me, they're like, Diddy's going to turn. He's going to give up all the celebrities that were involved in these alleged illegal activity, but he is facing such serious charges. Racketeering's 20 years in prison. There's another charge that's 15 years to life. I can't imagine a deal would be put on the table that wouldn't include prison time. I can't imagine a deal would be put on the table that would be attractive enough for him to turn on other people.
Yes, and they did bring a deal to the table that was attractive enough for the people to do that. Like he was saying, he didn't think that they was going to give him a good enough deal, but they done gave Diddy a good enough deal to get out of this shit.
Years that are hesitant to come forward. I think there's lots of reasons for that. I think one of the main reasons is, what will this sort of association do for my public image? A lot of celebrities, I think, really rely heavily on their public image. And with that comes, financial ramifications, possible loss of opportunities, brands that might not want to work with you if they
And to me, I think that's terrible. If you wasn't a part of these freak-offs, your public image shouldn't even matter. Pure survival. You know what I mean? These celebrities is worried about their public image and what we're going to think about them. What do you think that we think about y'all, that y'all are implicated in these freak-off tapes? You know what I'm saying? That y'all already are being accused of these things. We just didn't get the solid proof yet. If Diddy stand on the stand and agree and testify, the affidavit is in effect. But once he testified and then he turned over them tapes, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's probably at his mom's house, the freak off mom. You know what I'm saying? Ashton, this shit is horrible. And y'all worrying about your public image. What about the victims?
Deal that didn't include prison time.
I don't even know if they need him because they have apparently all these videos and witness testimony. Okay, so let's talk about Ashton Kutcher. First of all, surprised? Haven't heard from him?
I'm not entirely surprised. I think there's a whole slew of people that P. Diddy had interactions with or worked with over the years that are hesitant to come forward. I think there's lots of reasons for that. I think one of the main reasons is, what will this sort of association do for my public image? A lot of celebrities, I think, really rely heavily on their public image. And with that comes, financial ramifications, possible loss of opportunities, brands that might not want to work with you if they come forward and, possibly defend him or maybe try to, explain some of his actions. So I think there's that. But then I also think there's probably a hesitancy for a lot of people to be called, even as witnesses, even if they didn't partake in any of these activities, to provide information. I think a lot of people are hesitant to come forward with that because that comes.
Now, she's saying she think a lot of them is hesitant to come forward because they're afraid of these things. How many of y'all think, smash that like button if y'all think that they're afraid to come forward because they know what the hell that they did? I don't just think that it's just, oh, they losing brand deals and all that. I think them motherfuckers don't want us to know what the fuck they was doing and how nasty they was and when they was high on that shit, doing all this crazy stuff. Now, y'all can be as freaky as you want, but when it comes to the minors, that's the part where we got a problem. Or the people that y'all allegedly forced yourselves on. You know what I mean? If y'all want to be grown and run around and be the fuck buck-ass naked, disgusted, walking around crawling on your motherfucking knees on a kitchen table, getting your cheeks clapped, that's fine. But we worrying about the victims and the minors, guys. Smash that like button.
Years that are hesitant to come forward. I think there's lots of reasons for that. I think one of the main reasons is, what will this sort of association do for my public image? A lot of celebrities, I think, really rely heavily on their public image. And with that comes, financial ramifications, possible loss of opportunities, brands that might not want to work with you if they come forward and, possibly defend him or maybe try to, explain some of his actions. So I think there's that. But then I also think there's probably a hesitancy for a lot of people to be called, even as witnesses, even if they didn't partake in any of these activities, to provide information. I think a lot of people are hesitant to come forward with that because that comes with a lot of other forms of exposure and, responsibility.
Do you think the Danny Masterson situation had any effect on this?
I'm sure it did. Ashton Kutcher and his wife Mila Kunis, they came forward with letters publicly supporting Masterson, talking about his great character and, their sort of assessment of how great a person they think he is. They got a lot of flack for that publicly.
And shouldn't they have got a lot of flack for that? They were sitting there taking up for this man, Danny Masterson. You know what I mean? Should have been named Marilyn Manson. This man got 30 years for R-wording a woman. You know what I'm saying? And was taken up for him. You know what I'm saying? And they got a lot of flack from the public. They should get a lot of flack from the public. Why would you want to stand next to something gross like this? Pure survival. And he was convicted. You know what I'm saying? You was better off trying to stand up for Diddy Glover. Diddy ain't convicted yet. You know what I'm saying? But that man was convicted. So that just looks terrible. Pure survival.
To provide information. I think a lot of people are hesitant to come forward with that because that comes with a lot of other forms of exposure and, responsibility.
Do you think the Danny Masterson situation had any effect on this?
I'm sure it did. Ashton Kutcher and his wife Mila Kunis, they came forward with letters publicly supporting Masterson, talking about his great character and, their sort of assessment of how great a person they think he is. They got a lot of flack for that publicly, especially considering the allegations of rape that were against Masterson. So I would imagine that they learned a lesson from that, and hence why he's possibly staying silent on this.
When you look at a video like him on Hot Ones saying, there's a lot I can't talk about, I look at it two ways.
And that's the crazy thing. When Ashton Kutcher said, when they asked him about Diddy's parties, and the man said, it's a lot that I can't talk about. What party do you go to where it's a lot that you can't talk about? You know what I'm saying? And you were standing there trying to speak for people that are victims, and then you allegedly was involved in this. Allegedly, you and your wife.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being witnessed by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia.
Combs insists he's innocent, but a judge rejected it.
Now, did you just hear what Ashton Kutcher was just speaking about? He said he saw a young minor being R-worded, you know what I mean, in another country or something like that. And you see he up there crying and all of that. And allegedly, you got these alleged allegations going on with you, sir? Pure survival? So those were fake tears, Ashton. This is pure survival.
Has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being witnessed by an American man.
So if you seen that, and you sitting there with these fake crying, do y'all see how he fake crying? Somebody seen a child, an American man, and allegedly you being accused right now of, and you're an American man, Ashton. Pure survival. 26 freak-off tapes, baby oil stains on your goddamn suit, pure survival. While you sitting there lying, you look like your hair got baby oil on that motherfucker right now. This is pure survival, guys. We are surviving Ashton Kutcher.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being raped by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia.
Combs insists he's innocent, but a judge rejected his lawyer's bail proposal because he had concerns that Combs might try to tamper with witnesses.
Ashton Kutcher is being called to testify against Sean Diddy Combs in a new federal case.
And that was the thing. Ashton Kutcher was called to testify against Diddy Glover. Pure survival. Think about that. Ashton Kutcher, you know how the feds went to all the fucking celebrities already, pure survival. The feds went to him and said, look, you can testify on Diddy, da-da-da-da-da. Ashton Kutcher did not want to testify against Diddy Glover because he was worried about his public image. Because he was worried the fact that we was going to find out that the man was over there at them white parties freaking off. Pure survival. Know what was going on? I didn't know these motherfuckers was minors. Pure survival. And the man got me buck-ass naked on tape. You should have told on Diddy when you had a chance. You were supposed to testify. Now Diddy's about to testify against you. You motherfuckers took too long. Pure survival.
Might try to tamper with witnesses.
Ashton Kutcher is being called to testify against Sean Diddy Combs in a new federal case alleging against minors and A-list celebrities like 50 Cent and Tom Hank are speaking out about how Ashton Kutcher and Diddy were involved in illegal sexual acts. Hollywood's worst predators are being exposed for who they really are. Stay with us as we peel back the layers of Ashton Kutcher's latest confession of what he saw at Diddy's parties.
And they said the Hollywood, the sickest people. That's crazy.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine.
And you're about to be in the FBI raid right now, dear Ashton Kutcher. You talking about the motherfucking raids that you saw, pure survival? Oh, they're going to go to your house, wrestle you to the ground. They're going to grab you by that slick baby old motherfucking hair you got. Pure survival, looking like you all tired, like you've been fucking all night, Ashton. Pure survival, you look like you've been fucking all night. And I don't know if they was minors, Ashton. But if that man got you on all them fucking tapes and you up there talking like this, like you really give a damn, pure the Bible, this is sad, Ashton.
Kutcher's latest confession of what he saw at Diddy's parties.
I've been on FBI raids where I've seen things that no person should ever see. I've seen video content of a child that's the same age as mine being raped by an American man that was a sex tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned by her environment that she thought she was engaging in play.
The child was so conditioned because thought she was engaging in play. Ashton, I'm telling you right now, I hope that you wasn't involved with no minors. Pure survival. For you to say this, and you talking about the child was the ages of my daughter. What about these alleged minors? How old was they? You know what I'm saying? But you trying to act like you so sad about this one. Yo, this is wild. This is wild.
Tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned by her environment that she thought she was engaging in play. But the right to pursue happiness for so many is stripped away. It's abused. It's taken by force, fraud, or coercion. It is sold for the momentary happiness of another.
Sean Diddy Combs and
he just spoke on what everything of what that represents. Taking advantage of somebody, R-wording somebody, all of that. So you letting us know, Ashton, you know what that means. You just said it, pure survival. And your friend and your sugar daddy was Diddy Glover. And then you had the other little freak-off friend that was R-wording people. This ain't looking good, dude. Pure survival.
Tourist in Cambodia. And this child was so conditioned by her environment that she thought she was engaging in play. But the right to pursue happiness for so many is stripped away. It's abused. It's taken by force, fraud, or coercion. It is sold for the momentary happiness of another.
Sean Diddy Combs and Ashton Kutcher have been friends since the 90s, but with Diddy is currently under investigation for sex trafficking of minors, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation for prostitution. Ashton has started to distance himself from the disgraced producer. Did Ashton really not know what Diddy was doing, or was
Did Ashton not know what Diddy Glover was doing? Smash that like button if y'all think that Ashton Kutcher knew exactly what Diddy was doing and Ashton was participating. Pure survival. They were friends since the 90s, having freak-offs and all of that stuff. I seen Ashton in all of them all-white parties. Pure survival. Then I got a nerve to have on an all-white shirt. Oh my God, pure survival. I'm not at all-white freak-off parties. Guys, don't judge me. Pure survival. But I should be ashamed of myself. But I don't have the white nails. I'm not going to let y'all say that as soon as I get off alive, I'm going to have my woman paint my nails white. Pure survival. I'm not going to let y'all say that. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? But they've been doing this shit since the 90s, guys. This is crazy.
Ashton has started to distance himself from the disgraced producer. Did Ashton really not know what Diddy was doing, or was Ashton Kutcher actually involved in all the abuse that occurred? More and more tapes are coming out showing Kutcher at Diddy's parties. And if that wasn't enough, there's even footage of...
And look at Ashton Kutcher. Oh my God. You can see down his throat. Pure survival. Ashton, oh my God. Look at this. And Diddy sitting there clapping his hands. Oh, look how wide he can open his mouth. He can put 10 peckers in his mouth all at once. Pure survival. Anybody that hang around Diddy Glover, they end up with their mouth wide open just like that. Ashton! This is pure survival. Oh my God. We are surviving down Ashton Kutcher's throat. We need to go look down his throat and see if we see a minor. Pure survival. Somebody look down Ashton Kutcher's throat. Do any of y'all see a minor in there? Free the minor out of his throat. Pure survival. And then he clapping his hands right there like, look at my little white boy. Look at my little Becky. Pure survival. Ashton, this don't look good, dude. You sitting there lighting Diddy's cigars at his parties and stuff. It seemed like he had you in check, a lot of y'all. And y'all was doing whatever Diddy Glover wanted y'all to do, pure survival. And y'all was freaking off and taking those freak off drinks and those freak off ecstasy pills. This is a sign of guilt, Ashton. To me, this is just my opinion, pure survival.
Ashton has started to distance himself from the disgraced producer. Did Ashton really not know what Diddy was doing, or was Ashton Kutcher actually involved in all the abuse that occurred? More and more tapes are coming out showing Kutcher at Diddy's parties. And if that wasn't enough, there's even footage of Ashton hugging 13-year-old Davy Chase and inviting her to Diddy's after party.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. Oh, my God. This is a 13-year-old. I was so stunned. You know what I mean? When Ashton got his mouth wide open, and Diddy's clapping his hand. But look at the little 13-year-old girl. They saying that our Ashton Kutcher, I'm going to say allegedly, but they saying that he invited her to one of Diddy Glover's after parties after this award show. This is wow, Ashton. I did not know that this little girl was 13. This is crazy. Wow, and you invited her with your mouth wide open like that, Pierre the Bible, and invited her to Diddy's Freak Off Dungeon? This is the same thing that Usher did with Justin Bieber. Oh, man, I didn't even know that, guys. Pure survival. I was looking for the victims down Ashton Kutcher's throat, and then we got a damn 13-year-old girl sitting right next to him. Yo, this is crazy.
Tapes are coming out showing Kutcher at Diddy's party.
Right here. Oh, shit. Y'all see this? This is the 13-year-old girl getting invited to Diddy Glover's freak off party. Surviving white freak off shirt. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat, Chanel. This is pure survival. And Chanel said that Jamil got the all white freak off shirt on during survival. I should be ashamed of myself. Oh my God. But look at the little 13. Oh man, this is crazy. The little 13-year-old girl getting invited to a freak off party that Ashton Kutcher right here on tape inviting her.
Diddy's after party. Kutcher has tried to paint himself as someone who deeply cares about children and was even involved in helping the FBI at an anti-sex trap organization.
That's what it was. Ashton Kutcher was involved in an anti-sex trafficking organization group where he was helping the feds to help people that was being trafficked. So what happened, Ashton? That don't make no sense. People will be making themselves the face of change and positivity. So we helping the workers, but then behind the scenes, we had Diddy Glover's freak off work, doing shit with with the mermaids. So that's just like people that be in certain religions. I'm not gonna talk about y'all, Pierce our Bible, but then y'all not really holier than thou for real, but you pretend that you holier than thou, but then you be doing something totally different behind the scenes. Pierce our Bible. That's all I'm gonna say. But that's what that sound like. Wow. And then you pick that little girl up in the air and just swung her around, you know what I mean? Then dropped her and handed her to Diddy. Look how he swing the little girl in the air, Pierce our Bible, and drop her right there in front of Diddy Glover's face.
And if that wasn't enough, there's even footage of Ashton hugging 13-year-old Davy Chase and inviting her to Diddy's after party.
Look, this the little girl right here. Put that little girl down, Ashton. Pierce her Bible. This is not your child. And you just felt that comfortable to pick the little girl up, Pierce her Bible, and then Diddy Glover is standing right there. And you hung out with this man. You know how sick he is, Pierce her Bible. But then you must be sick as he is too. You look at that girl, oh my God, prayers for her. I don't know if something happened to this little girl, Pierce her Bible. I don't know. But as you see, clearly, Diddy's up on stage, he's up on stage. This little girl supposedly got invited to a party after that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, this is wild. Pierce her Bible. Look. Diddy accused of raping 13-year-old wild celebrity. And this is the little girl. Oh, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Diddy's after party, someone who deeply cares about children and was even involved in helping the FBI at one point as the chairman of Thorn, an anti-sex trap organization. A deeper look at Ashton's past, however, reveals that Ashton isn't really who we think he is. From his direct involvement with convicted rapist Danny Masterson to his disturbing comments about wanting to harass Mila Kunis when she was just 14, Ashton's carefully crafted image begins to unravel.
So they saying that he said that he wanted to harass somebody at 14 out of his mouth? Oh my God, Ashton, this shit is not looking good. And this the same dude that got convicted of R-word that's doing 30 years. I understand y'all worked on the damn 70s show or whatever that show was, Pure Survival. But the moment I found out that my friend, whether we worked together or not, did some sick stuff and was convicted of it, I'm cutting him off. I'm not writing letters for him, talking about he a good person, Pure Survival. How do you think the parents felt? Ashton! Oh, I'm so disgusted with you, God.
Ashton isn't really who we think he is. From his direct involvement with convicted rapist Danny Masterson to his disturbing comments about wanting to harass Mila Kunis when she was just 14, Ashton's carefully crafted image begins to unravel, exposing a far more troubling reality.
You know what's funny is when she was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are gonna be making out in the scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly illegal,
That's
right?
probably your first kiss ever,
It
right?
was my first kiss. What if someone bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss. It was like a second or third
It
kiss.
was the first.
Now you see that? But that's how the Hollywood is. They had Ashton Kutcher kissing this girl at 14 on a TV show. You know what I'm saying? And he was older than her right there. You know what I'm saying? And they had it in a TV show, Hollywood stuff. This how you know that that industry needs to go down. This shit was normal. I can't even believe they was talking like that on TV. You can't talk like that right now, Pure Survival, where she's like, yeah, you wanted to French kiss me and throw your tongue down my throat when I was 14. How is that normal? But it was normal back then. We must protect.
Ashton's carefully unravel, exposing a far more troubling reality.
You know what's funny is when she was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are gonna be making out in this scene.
Ain't that a crime? He said she was 14 and he was 19 and she was 19. She was 14 and he was 19. And he said that the directors and shit said, look, y'all guys are going to be making out in the scene. How is a 14-year-old making out with a 19-year-old person for the whole world to see? And that was allowed. That was a behavior that was allowed. 14 and she's making out with a 19-year-old. And Ashton's excited as fuck about it. Pills are fight. Ashton, oh man, that's crazy. I'm sorry.
Comments about wanting to harass Mila Kunis when she was just 14. Ashton's carefully crafted image begins to unravel, exposing a far more troubling reality.
You know what's funny is when she was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are gonna be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly illegal,
That's
right?
probably your first kiss ever,
It
right?
was my first kiss. Why did someone bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss. It was like a second or third
It
kiss.
was the first. Look at the first week.
No, it was not the first week.
Whatever. Let me tell you what happened.
No, let me tell you what happened.
No. Okay, so I never kissed a guy. So I was so. I mean, Ash is attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life. Sure.
She was a 14-year-old girl and she was extremely scared for her life. Oh my God. They need to arrest all these people in Hollywood. The girl was 14 years old, pierced her pipe, and Ashton stuck his 19-year-old freak-off lizard tongue, pierced her Bible, that he was French kissing Diddy Glover with, down this girl's throat. She said she was scared for her life. I think that the company should be arrested, pierced her Bible, all of these people. This shit is crazy.
With Danny about our first kiss.
No, it wasn't the first kiss. It was like a second or third
It
kiss.
was the first. Look at the first week.
No, it was not the first week.
Whatever. Let me tell you what happened.
No, let me tell you what happened.
No. Okay, so I never kissed a guy. So I was so. I mean, Ash is attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life. Sure. And he was very nice about it. He was like, oh, don't worry. So I was like, okay. Then Danny goes and goes, dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her. What would you stick your tongue in my mouth with some?
What? No.
$10.
You're making.
Wow. So she said, oh my God, that Ashton Kutcher was her first kiss. She was 14 years old, pierced her Bible. And they offered her $10 for him to stick his tongue down her motherfucking throat, pierce her Bible. $10 motherfucking dollars. To M-word her pretty much, because that's what that was. I don't know how this wasn't against the law. Ashton, I didn't even see this before, dude. Oh man, this is crazy. Hollywood is a mess. This is proof. Hollywood, this was legal back then. That's crazy. Like our kids getting put in movies and different things, they had to be kissed by grown-ass adults, pierce the Bible, and get paid $10 to do it. That's crazy.
I never kissed a guy. So I was so. I mean, Ash is attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life. Sure. And he was very nice about it. He was like, oh, don't worry. So I was like, okay. Then Danny goes and goes, dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her. What would you stick your tongue in my mouth with some?
What? No.
$10.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet, don't we?
Yeah.
Like,
Which
It
was?
wasn't very
as to whether or
exciting.
not, you're kissing on the show or boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
You would use tongue, right, Rosie? I mean, you would.
It depends what kind of an actor you are, I guess.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So Danny bets me like $20 that I wouldn't do it. And of course I'm like, yeah, sure, what's the deal? You know?
And then the cop showed up and he got arrested pretty much.
They should have,
He
but they
never
didn't.
did it, and he's so.
See, he admitted that the cops should have rolled up and arrested him for that. That was a crime. 14 years old, but I don't think that the kid in 19, he could have went to jail too, right along with them. Cause I ain't no way you'd have told me I'm 19 years old, even in the acting script. I'm not kissing no motherfucking 14-year-old. You know what I'm talking about? I'm 19, I'm not kissing no 14-year-old. That's just not happening. So Ashton, you should have filed charges against that daggone. You should have felt crazy about that. Where was the mothers, right?
$10.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet, don't we?
Yeah.
Like,
Which
It
was?
wasn't very
as to
exciting.
whether or not, a girlfriend,
Yeah.
you would use tongue, right, Rosie? I mean, you would.
It depends what kind of an actor you are, I guess.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
So Danny bets me like $20 that I wouldn't do it. And of course I'm like, yeah, sure, what's the deal? You know?
And then the cop showed up and he got arrested pretty much.
They should have,
He
but they
never
didn't.
did it, and he's so. He claims to this day he did it. I swear.
Mira, I
Never.
so did it.
He never did
I
it.
didn't let him. I think he tried, but I think I kept my mouth so.
Yeah. You did the old teeth block?
Yes.
Yeah, you did the teeth block. He was like, oh,
Yes, he never
just admit it.
She's 14. She did. You stop it. She would know.
Wow, she said she was 14. Now they screaming. So the girl's saying that Ashton tried to get his tongue down her throat, pierce her Bible, but she was spitting and she put her teeth there. Like, so she's saying that he didn't. Like, but he was saying like he was really trying to. That's crazy.
Yes, I never got his tongue.
You didn't, Ashton. Just admit it.
She's 14. She did. You stop it. She would know that was not the first. You had turned 15 by then.
No, she was 12. I know it.
There's no big difference. That 1 year makes the whole world change.
All right, then. We're coming up with the guy who has a name that should have been chased to show business.
And he talking about you was 15. 15, 14, dude. And she said, no, I was 14. That's wild.
You didn't, Ashton. Just admit it.
She's 14. She did. You stop it. She would know that was not the first. You had turned 15 by then.
No, she was 12. I know it.
There's no big difference. That 1 year makes the whole world change.
All right, then. We're coming up with the guy who has a name that should have been chased to show business. Wilmer Vanderama. I don't even know how to say it. What's the point? Yeah, Danny will be here as well. Don't go away.
Recently, reports have started coming out that Ashton Kutcher is actually preparing to move to Europe to escape a subpoena that would force him to testify against Diddy. Both Kutcher and his wife, Mila Kunis, came out in support of Danny Masterson.
So hold on. So Ashton Kutcher is trying to run to where? Hold on. Let me see where he's trying to run to.
What's the point? Yeah, Danny will be here as well. Don't go.
All of them trying to leave the country.
Recently, reports have started coming out that Ashton Kutcher is actually preparing to move to Europe to escape.
Can they do secret seal? Can they get you in Europe? Because if him and his wife try to run to Europe, because Ashton Kutcher is trying to run to Europe, pierce our Bible. That's why I'm believing in all these tapes, Ashton. All of y'all trying to leave the country. You and your wife trying to go to motherfucking Europe, pierce our Bible. Do they got the can they go over there and get him? I know Ellen, she went to the United Kingdom. United States can still get him, but I don't know about Europe. So if you ain't get there yet, Ashton, you better hurry up. Pierce our Bible, because Diddy's telling on you now. The feds tried to give you a deal. You should have told when they fucking asked you for you to testify against Diddy, but you didn't want to testify because you was worried about your public image. As if you didn't destroy it already. Ashton, this is Pierce our Bible.
What's the point? Yeah, Danny will be here as well. Don't go away.
Recently, reports have started coming out that Ashton Kutcher is actually preparing to move to Europe to escape a subpoena that would force him to testify against Diddy. Both Kutcher and his wife, Mila Kunis, came out in support of Danny Masterson around the time that Diddy's house was raided, and now they're involved with another Is this really just a coincidence?
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so.
And his wife and him talking about we support victims. And now they're apologizing for defending Danny Madison, who's got R-worded, they got 30 years. Now they're sitting there crying because the public went crazy on them. Pierce our Bible. Like, we're going to sit there and let you do that, try to support this dude, whether it was your friend or not. Knowing that these victims, these families, people are hurt from what Danny, whatever that boy name is, Pierce our Bible, they got the 30 years and y'all was supporting the motherfucker. When y'all should have just kept your mouth shut. You kept quiet with this Diddy Glover situation, Pierce our Bible. Now you and your wife trying to run to Europe, but it's too late. You done made yourself hotter than gonorrhea solid. Pierce our Bible. You and your wife made you hotter than gonorrhea solid. You know what I'm saying? This is pure survival at this point. It's too late to apologize. Too goddamn late. She's talking about we support victims. You should have thought about that when y'all was sitting there trying to support them in the first place.
They're involved with another Is this really just a coincidence?
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never.
So him and his wife saying that somebody called him and said that can they write character witnesses for Danny Masterson, the convicted R-word person. Can they write character victims? Can they be character witnesses? Like say good things about him before he ended up doing this. Da 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 da. So Ashton Kutcher, I got a question for you. Pure Survival. If you get convicted of this, if this comes out to be true, who are going to write character witness for you? Is that dude that's locked up right now that's doing 30 years for R-word and somebody? Is he going to write the judge and say something good about you? Pure Survival. Straight up. You got to keep it real, Ashton.
Consideration relative to the sentencing. We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual abuse or rape.
And y'all heart should have went out to them people before y'all wrote them character character witness stuff. Pure Survival. Now the tables has turned, Ashton. Look at your goddamn face. Pure Survival. You look sneaky. You look like you getting old by the minute, Ashton, because Diddy Glover's in jail. Pure Survival. I know you shaking in your goddamn thongs. You know what I'm saying, Ashton? If you're not on these tapes, because he talking about 26 tapes in the affidavit, Pure Survival. That's a whole lot of baby oil. 26 freak-off tapes, and they said Diddy made you have to fuck for days, Pure Survival. Days, 40 days, and 40 freak-off nights. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Pure Survival? Your rear end probably just stopped hurting. You know what I'm saying? After all the effing you was doing with Diddy Glover, Pure Survival.
Wow. Okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story.
And I'll never get over this, Ashton. When you and your mustache took yourself on this platform and they asked you about Diddy Glover's freak-off parties, and you said it's the things that happen at the parties, you couldn't tell it. That sounds illegal as a motherfucker. Any party I've been to, I can tell you what the fuck happened, what was going on, Pure Survival. You know what I'm talking about? But you couldn't tell. That alone speaks volumes that you said you can't even tell us. It was so disgusting and so disturbing, those freak-off parties you attended, you couldn't even talk about them. You know what I mean? That's wild. Pure Survival.
Has ever been a victim of sexual abuse or rape.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punk, because he was like, yo, you can't punk me. And I was like, I don't want to tell you, everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out.
And look at that. Diddy made sure he kept Ashton Kutcher's mouth wide open. Pure Survival. And I said it before. Diddy Glover looked like a whole pimp right here. And Ashton Kutcher looked like one of his white pale hoes. Pure Survival. And shout out to all my, you know what I mean? Y'all know I got White fans, black fans, motherfucking green fans, Chinese fans. I love everybody. Pure survival. But y'all, he is white. And he look like one of his white hoes. Pure survival. Look at Diddy. He's like, oh, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. Look how she has her mouth wide open. He kept your mouth open, Ashton. Oh my God, pure survival. You could not keep your motherfucking mouth shut around Diddy. You look so excited, so happy to be under him. And Diddy looking at you like, oh my God, I like this. I like that daddy. He looked like an older version of Justin Bieber. Pure survival. Remember when Justin Bieber had the Justin Bieber hairstyle? That's how Diddy's looking at him. Pure survival. He had Justin when he was young. So he looked at Ashton as the older version of a Justin Bieber. Pure survival. Diddy like, oh my God, I'm going to tear that motherfucker ass up tonight. I'm going to tear that pale ass up tonight. Pure survival. Oh my God, Ashton, man, the tapes is out here, dude.
I don't want to tell you, everybody's on the table. It's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out and watch football together.
As we investigate the relationship between Diddy and Ashton Kutcher, it's important to note that there's clear evidence that ties Kutcher to illegal activities that allegedly happened at Diddy's parties. This is something we've already seen in leaked tapes that showed Kevin Hart and Usher at Diddy parties. Allegedly, Kutcher is getting ready to testify against Diddy in return for immunity. Tapes showing celebrities in sexual contact with children have already been handed over to the FBI by Courtney Burgess and Harvey Levine from TMZ. Is Kutcher getting ready to testify because he knows the FBI has him on tape?
And he took too long. No, he's not going to. He took too long to testify. He should have. I'm just being honest. Testify and repent to God if you had anything to do with this type of shit. Pure survival. You look all disturbed and you just look like you out of it. You better wake the fuck up, Ashton. They are coming for you, damn it. Pure survival. You should have been told. Diddy done told already. I'm telling you, they said it's a bunch of celebrities like, I don't even know how many that's supposed to go to jail before Christmas. Motherfuckers ain't even gonna be able to see Santa. No eggnog, no freak off milk and cookies coming down the goddamn chimney that you got sit there waiting for Santa. Pure survival. Santa Claus don't even want nothing to do with you. Ashton.
Have already been handed over to the FBI by Courtney Burgess and Harvey Levine from TMZ. Is Kutcher getting ready to testify because he knows the FBI has him on tape?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I just heard about that. But you heard about the reports that Ashton Kutcher, he's worried that Diddy might lie on his friends? You heard about that?
But that's what I've been saying. I said, if the federal government wanted somebody more than they want Diddy, if he has some information about some people that they would rather have other than him, he's able to get that information to them. But they gotta want it. They gotta want it. And Ashton Kutcher and him they were real tight. One time, me, him, Ashton Kutcher went to.
Now, do you hear what Diddy Glover's ex-bodyguard, with Gene Dill? This is Diddy Glover's ex-bodyguard for the people that don't know that. Pure survival. Gene Dill and Gene Dill's kneecaps. Y'all know me and Gene Dill's kneecaps. For the people that do know, got a good friendship. Me and Gene Dill's kneecaps. Pure survival. No Diddy, but his kneecaps, we kind of cool. Pure survival. Gene Dill's kneecaps was around Ashton Kutcher and was around Diddy Glover. And Gene Dill is being honest about what's going on. And like how Gene Dill's just said it, and his kneecap said that all Diddy got to do is tell, but the feds got to want that information. It got to be enough for Diddy to be able to get a deal. And do you think that Diddy can't? To me, it's going to be way more than enough what Diddy got. He's telling on Oprah, Pure Survival, telling on Medea, Kevin Hart, all these people, whoever allegedly was a part of it, Diddy's telling on all of them and already did. Pure survival. So turning over Ashton Kutcher, oh, they'll love it. You know what I'm saying? So Gene Dill and his kneecaps is being honest. I'm not going to let y'all say that Diddy's going to turn Gene Dill in and turn Gene Dill's kneecaps in. I've been said Gene Dill recants his story. That's because of his dementia. Pure survival. That's because of his dementia. You know what I mean? But, you know, he has memory loss sometimes. But Gene Dill and his kneecaps is being honest. Pure survival.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I just heard about that. But you heard about the reports that Ashton Kutcher, he's worried that Diddy might lie on his friends? You heard about that?
But that's what I've been saying. I said, if the federal government wanted somebody more than they want Diddy, if he has some information about some people that they would rather have other than him, he's able to get that information to them. But they gotta want it. They gotta want it. And Ashton Kutcher and him they were real tight. One time, me, him, Ashton Kutcher went to a Knicks game and we met Jay-Z there. You know what I'm saying? So they were close to.
Now you hear how wild that is? Gene Deal and Gene Deal's kneecaps, Ashton Kutcher, Diddy Glover, and Jay-Z's hairstyle. You heard what he just said. It was him, it was Gene Deal's kneecaps, Jay-Z's hairstyle, Gene Deal's kneecaps, Ashton Kutcher, Diddy Glover, and Jay-Z's hairstyle. All together. That's 5 different chairs. You know what I mean? I told y'all, know Gene Deal's kneecaps have their own separate table. Paradox Bible. So Jay-Z, they coming for you next too. Gene Deal kneecaps just said Jay-Z was there with Ashton Kutcher. This is wow. It's so many of these motherfucking celebrities that's going to be going down during Survival. Smash that like button, guys.
What about that?
But that's what I've been saying. I said, if the federal government wanted somebody more than they want Diddy, if he has some information about some people that they would rather have other than him, he's able to get that information to them. But they gotta want it. They gotta want it. And Ashton Kutcher and him they were real tight. One time, me, him, Ashton Kutcher went to a Knicks game and we met Jay-Z there. You know what I'm saying? So they were close, they was cool.
But you think Diddy would do something like that? Lie on other celebrities?
Well, why would it have to be a lie? Because if he get caught in he gonna be as truthful as possible. You understand? He's gonna give them enough information, whereas that it's gonna make him look like the choir boy.
You see that? Gene Deal's kneecaps, Diddy Glover's ex-bodyguard, just said Diddy Glover's going to give the feds enough information. He's going to tell so wonderful, but he's going to try to make himself look like more of the innocent person during Survival. He's going to say, well, look, Ashton was with more minors than me, or Jay-Z was with more minors than me, allegedly. But Diddy's going to make it like they were worse than him, and he was the one. Diddy Glover's going to make himself sound like he's the victim. These motherfuckers came to party with me. Oh, I'm not the one who made the freak-off concoction. It was Ashton. You know what I mean? So Gene Deal, man, Gene Deal, shout out to Gene Deal, and shout out to Gene Deal's kneecaps. Man, Diddy is taking everybody down.
He going to be as truthful as possible. You understand? He's going to give them enough information, whereas that it's going to make him look like the choir boy. So, Ashton Kutcher, he has a right to be.
Sweetheart, did you see the motherfucker just said? The lounge. You heard what the lounge said. Smash that like button, guys. Everybody in the building. Listen, baby. Did you hear Gene Deal say Ashton Kutcher? Gene Deal's kneecaps can't even pronounce Ashton Kutcher's name right. Listen how he say Ashton Kutcher. Gene, why you messing up his name? Why is Gene Deal's kneecaps messing up Ashton Kutcher's name? Motherfucker saying Ashton Kutcher. Ashton, he fucking up your name during Survival. It's the dementia. It's the kneecaps.
He gonna be as truthful as possible. You understand? He's going to give them enough information, whereas that it's going to make him look like the choir boy. So, Ashton Kutcher, he has a right to be.
You heard how he messed up his name? Gene Deal, why are you so nervous? They asking about Ashton Kutcher. You said Ashton Kutcher. Gene Deal's scared. He like, they looking at me too. Paradox Bible.
That it's going to make him look like the choir boy. So, Ashton Kutcher, he has a right to be kind of alarmed if he was doing things with Diddy. Remember they used to have that group called the what do you call it? The Brat Pack with Diddy, him, and a couple other guys. was hanging out. Leonardo, one other guy too. I forgot the other guy's name.
Jamie Foxx. Yes, Gene Dill's kneecaps is being honest right here. They had a freak off rack pack. Diddy Glover, Jamie Foxx, and Leonardo DiCaprio. They called themselves the Rat Pack. I don't know what that is. Pure survival, some type of freak off shit. But Gene Dill's kneecaps is right about that.
If he was doing things with Diddy. Remember they used to have that group called the what do you call it? The Brat Pack? With Diddy, him, and a couple other guys was hanging out. Leonardo, one other guy too. I forgot the other guy's name. So they all might be worried.
For him to come out with that comment, I mean, that is suspect. It sounds like he's worried that Diddy might give up some information.
That's why. That's why.
You heard that? Ashton Kutcher was already worried. He's worried that Diddy was going to tell on him. So my whole thing is, if Ashton was so worried, he should have told on Diddy first. Or left with Ellen, Russell Simmons, with Russell Simmons yoga pants, and left the country. It's too late now. Pure survival.
One other guy too. I forgot the other guy's name. So they all might be worried.
For him to come out with that comment, I mean, that is suspect. It sounds like he's worried that Diddy might give up some information.
That's why. That's why he made that statement. To set it up. To set up the atmosphere that, yo, this guy's gonna lie on us. This guy ain't gonna tell the truth on us. But what we know is that wherever Diddy went, his tape recorders went. His camera equipment was working. He was videotaping everything.
Y'all heard that? Wherever Diddy Glover was at, or wherever Diddy Glover went in any one of those freak-off dungeons, pure survival, or the freak-off tunnels, pure survival, there was always a goddamn camera with him. That made Diddy Glover hornier when he held that camera, pure survival, and he sat there and choked his chicken, and he watched other people get their cheeks clapped. That turned him on more. Ashton, and you knew that already, pure survival. So like Gene Dill's kneecaps just said, no matter what, Ashton, if you're guilty, sir, it is on tape. And they're saying 26 tape, allegedly, pure survival. You know what I'm talking about? Gene Dill's kneecaps is not going to lie. Gene Dill might lie, pure survival, but them kneecaps always telling the truth.
To set it up. To set up the atmosphere that, yo, this guy's going to lie on us. This guy ain't going to tell the truth on us. But what we know is that wherever Diddy went, his tape recorders went. His camera equipment was working. He was videotaping everything. So they might have that videotape already.
Multiple sources.
You heard that? They might have that videotape already with Ashton Kutcher busting it wide open. Pure survival. Oh, man, shout out to Gene Dill and shout out to Gene Dill's kneecaps.
He was videotaping everything. So they might have that videotape already.
Multiple sources tie Ashton Kutcher to an ongoing federal case, where evidence and testimonies have already been presented to a grand jury. Allegedly, due to the nature of Diddy's crimes, the case is currently being heard in a closed courtroom, and 8 freak-off tapes showing almost a dozen A-list celebrities involved intimately with children have been presented.
Y'all heard that? They said already the 8 freak-off tapes that was presented with children, I'm saying allegedly, already was presented to the grand jury. The grand jury already seen that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's all about to come out. But I've been told y'all that Diddy Glover had his own freak-off tapes that they didn't recover. They did not recover that shit. He still held on to it because he knew he was going to have to use that in his defense. Pure survival. How am I going to get the fuck out of here if I give y'all all the tapes? No, we got to make a deal first. You know what I'm saying? So this is crazy, guys.
Where evidence and testimonies have already been presented to a grand jury. Allegedly, due to the nature of Diddy's crimes, The case is currently being heard in a closed courtroom, and 8 freak-off tapes showing almost a dozen A-list celebrities involved intimately with children have been presented. One of the celebrities that we know is going to be called is Ashton Kutcher.
They bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. And so you get these people in compromising situations. The drinks were laced, the videotapes were hot. And then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, oh, what did I do? And then they have compromising material on you. And then they can guide your career. They could kill your career, but they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant.
Now, do you see this? You know what I'm saying? They saying allegedly politicians also, pure survival, and I'm not messing with them. You know what I'm talking about? But they talking about the politicians. Diddy had everyone on tape clapping cheeks and getting their cheeks clapped during survival. And then they had alleged minors running around looking like little midgets. You know what I'm saying? And I forget what girl that went to the party that said that they was dressed like little elves, little leprechauns, pure survival. Had the kids dressing like a motherfucking leprechauns. You know what I'm saying? Running around there. So they're all afraid. And Diddy kept those tapes, pure survival, so he can use it against them. You know what I mean? It's like he almost knew all this shit was coming. Like once Cassie started doing all that shit, he started rounding them tapes up, pure survival, because Cassie been asking him, look, give me this amount of money before I come tell. Even Kim Porter, rest in peace. I'm sure she was telling Diddy she was going to tell. He knew one day he was going to get told on, pure survival, so he kept all these tapes just in case for all the people that turn their back on him, and he has to use this shit to get out, to make a deal. He's trying to make a deal right now. You see they not letting his ass out. You know what I mean? He know he got to sit till May, pure survival. So he like, fuck it, I might as well take everybody down. It's going to be a lot of celebrities going down, guys. Diddy is not going down by himself. Smash that like button, guys. It's pure survival.
One of the celebrities that we know is going to be called is Ashton Kutcher.
They bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. And so you get these people in compromising situations. The drinks were laced, the videotapes were hot. And then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, oh, what did I do? And then they have compromising material on you. And then they can guide your career. They can.
Now you see that? You wake up the next day, your cheeks is all sore, pure survival. You done drank something, you done took all this stuff. You done got buck ass naked. You sitting there biting the remote, doing freaky ass stuff. You know what I mean? You could have woke up with Justin Bieber. You could have woke up with whoever in them freak off parties. Pure survival. Motherfuckers is talking about, yo, what did I do last night? Why my breath smell like sour vagina? Pure survival. Why my breath tastes like oh my God, like funky vagina. Why my breath tastes like stink pussy? You know what I'm saying? Like you waking up under these conditions and don't even know why your breath smell like fish sandwich or your breath smell like poop. Pure survival. Your clothes smell like urine. You done got peed on. You don't know what the hell Diddy was doing to you at the party or you had you doing to yourself. That's wild.
Intimately with children have been presented. One of the celebrities that we know is going to be called is Ashton Kutcher.
They bring in these people. A lot of these people were also aspiring young artists in the music industry. And then these parties were sponsored by Motown Records CEO, Universal Records CEO. This goes all the way to the top. And so you get these people in compromising situations. The drinks were laced, the videotapes were hot. And then at the end of the day, you wake up the next morning, oh, what did I do? And then they have compromising material on you. And then they can guide your career. They could kill your career, but they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant. So he was a snitch and was feeding information to the feds. And we don't know what that means. We haven't been able to confirm it, but even Little Rod said it's not just like Epstein, it could be worse than Jeffrey Epstein.
Allegedly, Diddy even took turns with other celebrities when it came to minors. And all of it was filmed, so Diddy could use it for blackmail later.
You see that? It was all filmed so Diddy can use it to blackmail later. So like I said, Ashton, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt by saying allegedly, pure survival, but it's all starting to match up. You and your wife trying to run to, I forget where the hell they say y'all trying to run to, whatever country it is, then you standing up for that person who R-worded somebody that got 30 years and all this shit. Like, it just looked real fishy. And then a lot of pictures in the parties you was at every damn near every Diddy Glover freak-off party. Like, it's just wow, Ashton, pure survival. It's very wow.
They can guide your career, they could kill your career, but they got you. And it wasn't just people in the music business. As you said, there were athletes, there were celebrities, there were politicians, people from the royal family. And we were also told by the former bodyguard that Diddy was an FBI informant. So he was a snitch and was feeding information to the feds. And we don't know what that means. We haven't been able to confirm it, but even Little Rod said it's not just like Epstein, it could be worse than Jeffrey Epstein.
Allegedly, Diddy even took turns with other celebrities when it came to minors. And all of it was filmed, so Diddy could use it for blackmail later.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8...
And this motherfucker right here that looked like Caesar with a beard, pure survival. If you guys ever watch Planet of the Apes, pure survival, this milk dud motherfucking head motherfucker, bowling ball, chocolate swirl head, ball head motherfucker right here, pure survival, that looked like Caesar from Planet of the Apes. He's one of the guys who had the freak off tapes. You know what I'm saying? Diddy Glover's freak off tapes with minors. You know, I don't know what he was doing with it, pure survival. He needs to check himself. You know what I'm saying? But he had the freak off tapes. And he turned them over to the grand jury already. You know what I mean? For everybody that said that this bald head motherfucker was lying, pure survival, I didn't even believe him myself. But the fact that he turned it over to the grand jury and he's still not in jail, pure survival, because if he was lying about them tapes with Diddy Glover with the minors, his ass would be locked the fuck up right now, pure survival. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna let y'all say that man looked like TD, who I don't even say his name during survival. Oh, that man done got my channel clapped 2 times, pure survival. So I don't even mention that man's name. But y'all know who he actually really looked like. I'm just going to stick with the Planet of the motherfucker freak off apes, pure survival. But this man got the freak off tapes, and Ashton, and if you on any of them tapes that he turned into the grand jury already, oh, it's not looking good during survival.
Celebrities, 6 men and 2 women. How many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of...
this is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if
appear
they
to be.
were right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let me
be
rephrase
right.
it.
Based on yes.
Understood. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
So all of the minors, all of the adults, everybody, all of the celebrities that partake in this freak-off dungeon and this freak-off session with minors, shout out to the 1,800 people, pure survival, smash that like button. Everybody that was a part of this freak-off is all on tape, and they all was high off that freak-off Diddy Glover concoction. All of them was high. So you know they was taken advantage of, especially the minors, pure survival.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities.
So he's saying 2 of the males it was 2 males, that was 2 little boys in this Diddy Glover freak off tape that he turned over. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Ashton, like I said, I don't know, but there's 2 little boys on the tapes that he talking about.
Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let me
be
rephrase
right.
it.
Based on yes.
Understood. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning.
So all of these people that within this freak off with these celebrities, these was all victimized. So you had the minors, the minor little boys, you had the grown ass adult celebrities, pure survival, freaking off. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not.
Yes.
Understood. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims
They victims.
or were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Thanks for watching.
3 minors, man. Like, that's wild. Like, we're all a gang of celebrities. Like, and it's all coming out. Ashton, like I said, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, dude. Your name been floating around in this shit. Pure survival. When the feds came to you, asked you to cooperate, you didn't want to. Now, Diddy is giving up everybody. I'm telling you.
Even if Diddy's co-conspirators aren't named in the criminal lawsuits, there's no way they're getting away from the civil cases. The attorney representing most of these cases has already said that they will be naming everyone involved in abuse.
Yes, they didn't name everybody yet, but oh my God, they about to start naming everybody. That's why, like I said, they said Ashton Kutcher didn't want to say nothing because he didn't want his career or whatever. He didn't want us to look at. That's how they all looking. That's why they try to disassociate themselves with Diddy. That made y'all look even more guilty. Pure survival. And then Jay-Z and them took down the shit with Jaguar, right, and all that stuff. I mean, people doing a lot of stuff that's looking real guilty. Like, if I know I ain't do none of this shit and Diddy Glover ain't got me on tape, pure survival, clapping no cheeks or getting my cheeks clapped, pure survival, I wouldn't even be worried about it like this. You know what I mean? I'll be speaking out here. I'm sorry about what the victims went through, but you ain't got me on nothing. Pure survival. I ain't never, you know what I mean? I'll be loud. Like, I ain't did shit. Motherfucker, find a tape where you see my pecker on somebody's tape. Pure survival. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna need 2 tapes, like no, but it ain't gonna be on my. I ain't doing that shit.
There's no way they're getting away from the civil cases. The attorney representing most of these cases has already said that they will be naming everyone involved in abuse.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people. if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this that when a victim tells us that this person was in the room or this.
Now you see that? They said they're going to start out with the smaller name celebrities. Pierce our Bible, the little generic motherfuckers who was popping back in 1991. Pierce our Bible, you're still a celebrity. But they're going to start with the sprinkle us with celebrities we didn't even give a fuck about anyway. Pierce our Bible. Like, goddamn, what happened to that motherfucker? That's what happened to him. I ain't heard about him in a minute. Pierce our Bible. But then they're going to start dropping the real big nuclear ones on us. They go, yo, this shit is wild. So Ashton, I'm looking like you on this list. Ashton!
The attorney representing most of these cases has already said that they will be naming everyone involved in abuse.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it, without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people if they're not true, and very hurtful, frankly, if they are true. But if they're true, you shouldn't have been in the room and you shouldn't have been participating. So I anticipate that we're going to start filing lawsuits, and it may not be big names at first, but we have a long list of names, and you might imagine in situations like this that when a victim tells us that this person was in the room or this person participated, we want to do as much due diligence as humanly possible before we file that case, because in the United States, in almost every state, public filings are in fact public, and when you name somebody in a lawsuit, the press is going to pick it up, and we're aware of that. So we're going to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's, and I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
Interestingly, a civil lawsuit is what
And
started.
you see that? That already raised our eyebrows. Just the fact that you implicated in this. Ashton, our eyebrows is already raised. We are mind blown from what we found out that been taking place in that goddamn industry, in that secret society. Pure survival. The things that these people with fucking you got talent and things like that, and you feel like that your talent is gonna get you to where your dreams can come true, but instead you find out when you get into that industry, pure survival, you gotta do drugs, you gotta do alcohol, you gotta be able to get slapped in the rear end, you gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be able to have sex with 19 motherfuckers in the room that you don't even know who they are, pure survival. And they tell you, look, you fuck all 19 of these motherfuckers, you're gonna be a big mega star. You just ain't gonna have the vagina that you had back in the day, pure survival. You're gonna have a loose vagina, but you're gonna be a star. That is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the hell can't your talent get you to where the fuck you got to go? You motherfuckers are so disgusting. You're gonna be a big mega star, but you're gonna have permanent butt pain. You're gonna have stitches in your rear end, but you're gonna be a star. Hell to the no. You know what I'm saying? It's just pure survival at this point.
And I expect that there will be some people named in these lawsuits that will raise some eyebrows.
Interestingly, a civil lawsuit is what started this nightmare for Diddy in the first place. In November 2023, Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of rape, sexual assault, and sex trafficking. The lawsuit detailed a pattern of abuse that allegedly began shortly after they met in 2005, when Cassie was 19 and Diddy was 37. According to Gene Deal, this civil lawsuit led to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York starting his investigation into Diddy.
The arrest on sexual abuse and racketeering charges of Sean Combs, known alternately as Puffy or Diddy, sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world and is sparking vigorous debates online about who knew what, when, and for how long, and who else might have been involved. Combs insists he's innocent, but a judge rejected his lawyer's bail proposal because he had concerns that Combs might try to tamper with witnesses. Combs' downfall was years in the making and involved the Cassie Ventura, his former...
And Cassie Ventura, shout out to Cassie Ventura, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? Because Cassie is the one that broke the camel's freak off back during survival. Now, Cassie and Diddy Glover was together for 10 years. So I'm not going to act like at some point, okay, she was young, motherfucker had a bunch of money, pure survival, you know what I mean, and was running shit and coercing her and running, you know what I'm saying? So she pretty much at some point started going along with the shit. I'm not going to act like she didn't start going along. 10 years, you know, she could have been took this motherfucker down, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? But she probably was thinking, okay, hopefully maybe he'll change or maybe he'll stop having me having to do all this shit. If you really love me, if a man really love you, they're not going to let another dude clap your cheeks, pure survival, and sit there and record. That's not happening. I wish I would. You can't even try to talk to my woman and I'm right there. Pure survival. I'm going to pull my card up. Excuse me, motherfucker. Excuse me. God damn it. Who the fuck? Now, God damn it. It's my motherfucking woman, God damn it. You know what I mean? Ain't no motherfucking way. I'm going to pull up to your bumper, motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? So ain't no way. Like he treated her like trash, pretty much. Like if you let you got male sex workers for you to get off. If you want to go ahead and have these boyfriends clapping your cheeks, why you gotta put me in it, motherfucker? So now I gotta have sex with these male sex workers, and you gotta stand there with the camera right there, choking your motherfucking chicken to satisfy your sexual fucking desire. And motherfuckers say, well, why Cassie ain't tell? You didn't have a billionaire in your motherfucking life. So you can imagine the girl was 19. So yes, he was sprinkling that money in her face. A lot of motherfuckers would have fell victim to that. We got elevators in the fucking living room, pure survival. So yeah, so the motherfucker manipulating me and shit like that. Motherfucker got all this money, doing whatever. So yeah, eventually a young person, but as she was getting older throughout them 10 years, she started to realize, damn, like this man really doing me dirty. So where the money is not even a fucking thing no more. But then she had her doing drugs with him and all that. If Diddy was able to turn other people out on drugs, why couldn't she have got turned out as well? He was 100 and something years old. She was 19, pure survival. So I don't know why people like, well, she should have told that girl was manipulated. Diddy had money. Diddy had power. Diddy had grown men scared of him. Pure survival. Diddy would slap his own mom. The fuck? Motherfucker try to act like Diddy motherfuckers wasn't really scared of Diddy. Pure survival. So if you motherfuckers are scared of Diddy, the bodyguards, you know what I mean? Only person stood up to Diddy Glover was Gene Dill's kneecaps, but everybody else pretty much did what Diddy said. So if you go against Diddy, you seen when she was trying to run away. Imagine how many times that shit happened that we didn't see on camera. So I ain't just gonna make it like, oh, all right, damn, well, Cassie should have been da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, she stayed for a long, extensive time, but you gotta be in that situation to understand that. And then she dealing with a fucking billionaire. You motherfuckers talking about dollarnaires. Have a baby by me, baby. Be a dollarnaire. Yes, it's easy as a motherfucker to leave somebody that's only worth $22. Press off. Motherfucker, you only worth $22 and you disrespecting me, motherfucker. I'm out of here. Press off. But motherfucker got $1 billion. You ain't gonna move as fucking fast. You gonna slow down quick as fuck. Hold on, damn. So you want me to get the fuck out here? You know what I mean? You ain't just running away from that $1 billion that easy. I don't give a damn. Motherfucker, put your hands on you or not. All right, cool. I can go get this shit healed up. He gonna give me $4 million after hitting me. You know, so this gonna keep me quiet for a year. So you just gotta. You don't understand what that girl probably went through. You know what I mean? You got to really be in that situation. I hate when motherfuckers always talking about, if that would have been me, I would have did this. You don't know what the fuck you would have did. Pure survival. You got to be, and I got to stop doing that too. When I watch scary movies, and I'm telling you, shout out to all my white people, like my fans and supporters, all my white people. But when y'all be falling in them Halloween movies, pure survival, Michael Myers walking slow as shit. But he always catch y'all motherfuckers. Y'all just fall. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, man, if that was been me, I would have got up and karate kicked Michael's mask right out of his. But I don't know. I probably would have fell just like the white girl. But you don't know what you would do until you in that position. You know what I mean? So, but shout out to Cassie because she the one who sparked this shit up to get this monster to stop. And now we looking at these other monsters all because of a move she made. Pure survival.
Album for about 10 years. She made a ton of songs. She made collabs. She had producers. She thought she was actually working on an album. That was ultimately a giant pacifier to keep her happy while Diddy was actually using her for other things, right?
Now you hear that? Even her had an album for all them fucking years, and Diddy making her think her album gonna come out. Oh, you gonna be a megastar. Pure Bible. Just pull your pants down. He making her think all this stuff, and her music never came out. That's why I said you gotta be in that situation to be able to say what you would have done and how wrong this girl is.
From there, she found the courage to speak up. Joining me now is Teray, who, as I mentioned, has been reporting about Diddy on his Substack, Culture Fries, and on his Teray Show podcast. Teray, my friend, talk about more that you learned about what led to Diddy's downfall.
Well, you know, Cassie was recording an album for about 10 years. She made a ton of songs, she made collabs, she had producers. She thought she was actually working on an album. That was ultimately a giant pacifier to keep her happy while Diddy was actually using her for other things, right? For the freak-offs that we're talking about. The album never had a release date. It was never really going to come out. He was just using her for that purpose. So that's part of where you get into racketeering, that there's all these people that he's using in a business context to have her at his beck and call in this other nighttime context. And it's really disgusting, and he really robs her of her spirit and her time that she could have used to become a great artist. And when Kim Porter passes away, and this is from the story that I'm working on for the Substack, it'll come out later this week. When Kim Porter passes, Diddy is so distracted and devastated that Cassie's able to get away from him. She gets pregnant and she gets married, and then she's in a supportive environment. Her parents are around her, her husband, she has friends around her. She goes to rehab, and there she finds her voice to be able to speak up for the person.
And you know what? I'm going to have to agree with I'm gonna have to agree with his weird hairstyle, like Pure Survival. You know what I mean? Because he is making a lot of sense. He's a different kind of guy, clearly, but the motherfucker sounds smart as shit. Everything he just said is pretty much facts. I ain't even think about that. He's like, damn, Cassie got a chance to get away from the motherfucker, Pure Survival. She got around family. People done got in her head. She done went to rehab. She got off of drugs. And then that's when she really stood up to the motherfucker.
She used to be, right, when she was under his control, because she's not that person anymore. And when she gets to that place in her life, she starts to speak up, because there's so many people who wanted to speak out against him and were afraid. And when she finds the courage to speak up about her truth, then others are able to come forward, and then it all falls apart for him.
You know, racketeering implies that there's more than one person involved, though. Is there, and that is the question a lot of people are asking, is who else is involved in this?
There are other people within Diddy's operation who we could point to as playing a major role as far as security, as far as procuring things, as far as getting people into his orbit. I would imagine that many of those people are currently talking to federal law enforcement, trying to save themselves from going to prison. Others are sitting there nervous. Not everyone is talking, but surely some of them are. So, I mean, there's a lot of people lining up to tell the story, but I think a lot of the evidence is going to come from what Sean himself videotaped, right?
You heard that? All of the evidence is going to come from Sean himself, what he videotaped. Pure Survival. So, Ashton Kutcher, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, sir. Okay? I'm going to say allegedly. It's a possibility you're one of the celebrities that was on these freak-off tapes with these minors. But we're not going to know until this shit all comes, till it's all unfold. You know what I'm saying? Diddy is at a very desperate state right now. So when people start getting raided and people start getting arrested, it's going to all make sense to us. And they said there's several celebrities that's going to jail by Christmas. So if you're on that list, Ashton, Pure Survival, don't expect no freak off, no baby oil. Santa Claus ain't bringing you no baby oil for Christmas this year. You know what I'm saying? My Instagram is Jamil Peterson, Mr. I Am Comedy. Follow me, and I'll follow you back during Survival. We on Diddy Watch. We must stay updated. We must stay current and updated to whatever's going on during Survival. The celebrities, as people get locked up, people get indicted, people get raided, other, people that's connected in the industry, all of them, not just Diddy Glover. You know what I mean? But Diddy's name is at the top of the list. He's the one telling right now. So people say, oh, why you always picking on Diddy? No, I'm really coming for Ashton Kutcher, Pure Survival. I understand why Diddy Glover's telling now. His whole life is about to be over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is over, matter of fact. Pure survival. So he's at a desperate state. The man was about to tell on his mom yesterday. So it's a bunch of them. His mom going down, everybody going down. We just got to sit back, watch, and see during survival. So shout out to everybody that was in the building. Like and subscribe. Share this video. This was pure Stone Cold Ashton Kutcher, no punked, freak off survival at this point.